This is the new TIEM Lynx shoe, an indoor cycling shoe that has been redesigned for performance, stability, and comfort. But with its new sleek design and thicker sole, is it really the upgrade that TIEM claims? It's no secret that the indoor cycling trend has caught on like wildfire. I mean, what's not to love about sitting in a dark room on a bike that goes nowhere with people that you don't know and music blasting? I know I've been a fan for years. But when it came to footwear, there were only really two options available: a road shoe and a mountain biking shoe. There really was a gap in the market for a functional and cute shoe that served the role of performance and safety. And that, in my opinion, is where TIEM came into play. Their original design is the Slipstream, which comes in a variety of colors for women and a few select styles for men. Today's video, though, not about that shoe. It's about the Lynx. When TIEM released the Lynx shoe, it immediately caught my eye. So I went on YouTube to try to find any sort of videos about the shoe because I had a ton of questions, like, how firm are the soles? Are they thick? Do your feet dance around in the shoe like the Slipstream? Do your toes go numb? What is the cushioning like? And so on. So what better opportunity than to take matters into your own hands? I bought the shoes and I'm gonna answer these questions for you. Full disclosure, I've owned a pair of Slipstreams before, and the original pair that I had, the sole was a lot more flexible than this one that I bought for the review today. But when I compare the bendability between both shoes, they're just as equally firm. I found the build of the shoe to actually hug your foot a lot more than the Slipstreams. As an instructor that really enjoys teaching a lot of power in her classes, I struggled with having a firm fit in my Slipstream, which caused my foot to dance around a lot. With the Lynx, there's a lot less movement of my foot around the shoe, which is something that I really love. Obviously, this is going to be very personal to everybody, but I did my 30-minute Tiesto ride, plus an extra 10 minutes of riding for a total of 40 minutes in and out of the saddle on the bike, and even with that snugger fit, my toes didn't go numb. I found the cushioning to be very supportive in the shoe. Oftentimes when I am teaching or taking an all choreography class where I have to stand a lot, with my current shoes, because there's not a lot of cushioning, the balls of my feet start to hurt. With this shoe, I did not encounter that problem. Less clunky for sure. I like the rubber sole as a cycle instructor because oftentimes I'm coming off my bike to motivate, and even though my mountain biking shoes have tread underneath, they're more of plastic rather than rubber, and I'm always afraid that I'm gonna eat it in my studio's hardwood flooring. Also, it's really nice to have a normal feeling shoe, so I don't look like I'm walking around like I have duck feet. As of now, TIEM is not offering the Lynx shoe in a men's fit. However, I do know of one instructor that would buy his size in women's and wear that. The Lynx shoe goes up to a women's size 11, so if it works for you, try it out. TIEM says yes, and that is accurate in my opinion as well. However, where you're really gonna see the difference, as mentioned before, is in a more snugger fit for the Lynx. The short answer is yes, you can replace the insoles on your TIEMs. TIEM does not sell insoles on their website. However, the company that I use for my power shoes does sell insoles on their website. It is recommended that you change out your insoles depending on use every 3 to 6 months. Now, as far as replacing your shoe, that also depends on wear and tear. I did a little research online because there was nothing on the TIEM website. You should replace your indoor cycle shoes roughly every 2 to 3 years with proper care. However, I've had a pair for about 5.5 years, and all I do on those shoes is check the cleats and I replace those insoles every so often. No, and because the channel is about 1.8 inches wide, there's very limited space in there to put a delta converter plate. So to be honest, you're better off just replacing the pedal on your bike with an SPD compatible pedal. So after all of this, what does make the Lynx different from the Slipstream design. The Lynx has a thicker sole. It is 1 3/4 inches versus the Slipstream, which has a 1 1/4 inch thick sole. It also has an extra cushioned midsole and added sweat protection. Oh, and if you're like me and you like cute styles and designs, the Lynx does have a few designs not available to the Slipstream. I know I've said this a bunch, but I do love how the Lynx is more of a snugger fit, not in the my toes go numb kind of way, but in the my feet feel supported kind of way. And to me, I just feel like this shoe has a much sturdier fit and feel than this shoe, which to me just feels like a sneaker. I've ridden these shoes a couple of times, and to be honest, my feet get quite tired in them. Now, to be fair, I am not used to a shoe that has any flexibility at all. I've been riding with mountain biking shoes for about 5.5 years. And while I love that super firm shoe for generating power, in my personal opinion, I don't think it really helps your foot to get stronger. So I think I'm gonna see a huge benefit from this shoe as far as my feet getting stronger. That being said, if you are coming from a traditional cycle shoe to this TIEM shoe, a break-in period is absolutely gonna be a must. So do I think that this is a good shoe to buy? I think that any cycle shoe is gonna be a good buy. You're gonna be clipped in, you're gonna be stable, your quads are gonna be doing less work because you're engaging your full leg, and your feet are protected. I mean, this is my sneaker. Look how much bend this shoe has. Not only are you losing all of that to power, but all of that pressure is going on your feet. So if you're looking to upgrade from a sneaker, a TIEM shoe is an absolute no-brainer. It's gonna make such a big difference to your ride. If you're somebody that's been riding with an outdoor shoe like a mountain biking or road shoe, I highly recommend that you give yourself a break-in period. Start with smaller periods of time on the bike and then increase the period of time so your feet adjust and you prevent yourself from having your toes going numb and any other pain starting. So please, please, please let me know if you have any other questions about this shoe. Also, let me know if you want me to create a video for you all about indoor cycling shoes, the different types and what I think about each one and what might be the perfect shoe depending on what you do on an indoor bike. And if you know of somebody who is curious about this shoe or indoor cycling shoes, please go ahead and share this video with them. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.